Hello, Steve White, Trekboy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Now, I saw this article. It made me very sad. I mean, we all know Nichelle Nichols has dementia. This was very clear when I saw her. I've met her 3 times and seen her 3 times in Australia. And the first time she was awesome. The second time, she was fine. The third time she was definitely having difficulty, and everyone was just sort of quietly like, "Oh, something's wrong here," but no one really said anything. No one really was commenting on it at the time. She was sort of repeating questions and things like that, and we sort of realised that she was having a problem in that. And it's very sad when you see someone that you love. Like, I love Nichelle. She's my favourite character from Star Trek next to Spock. Her and Spock are my favourite characters from the original series. And I grew up on a lot of 60s shows that were syndicated and that when I was young, because my TV station, I think, was just cheap, and they had a lot of old shows because they couldn't always afford the new shows, which we got really late after they'd aired in the rest of Australia, because I grew up in Tasmania. We had our own little TV station, and I think, so I was very lucky. I grew up with a lot of 60s shows, which I didn't know they were old shows. I thought they were like current when I was growing up, so I didn't look at them as old or anything. I really enjoyed them for what they were. And Star Trek was one of the main ones. And I always wanted to meet Nichelle. The first time I met her, she was still had the black hair. I think it was a wig, but it might have been her own hair. It was black, and she didn't look really any different from what she did in Star Trek 4, 5, and 6, or 4 and 6, because she had the silver streaks in Star Trek 5. But it was very surreal. She was the first real celebrity I ever met. I made a lot of effort to see her. I had never been to a convention or anything. And like I said, the second time I saw her, it was the second time I saw her that she actually was clear she wasn't well. And I never thought I'd see her again, because I thought she's going to go back to the US. She won't come back to Australia. She'll be too sick. I'll never see her again. It was very sad, because I had wanted to talk to her a bit more, and I kind of got interrupted, and then I sort of thought, I'll never see her again. And then she came back to Australia again with George and Walter, which was awesome. I just wish they'd brought Grace Lee Whitney, but she was sick apparently, and then she died not long after that. I never got to meet her, but I met the other guys, and I got to talk to her again and say what I wanted to say the other time. But she seemed to be better. She had a stroke, and then she seemed to be better, but the dementia didn't go, obviously. And there's been a lot of stories about, and I know I'm taking time to get to the point, but there are a lot of stories I heard online about issues with her family, people wanting to put her in a home because they felt she couldn't care for herself, apparently. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm just sort of going on my memory of the articles. I didn't do any research for this video specifically. But I saw a friend of hers was sort of putting out videos of Nichelle being interviewed and saying she doesn't want to leave her home. She wants to keep doing conventions. She wants to keep her life, basically. She doesn't want to be retired and put in a home, which is what I think her family members supposedly wanted, allegedly. And now there's this lawsuit, or legal issues, and there's a GoFundMe page to help support her legal battle, because basically her manager, Gilbert Bell, who's 80, who's been living in a guest house on her residence, which apparently isn't being maintained, he's fighting to keep her in her home, but they are saying that he's doing that because it profits him, benefits him. He's staying there for very little rent and so forth. And her son is saying he's taking advantage of her and she should be in a home. So we have the son who wants to put her in a home and get this guy out of her life and manage her. And then we've got the manager saying, no, she wants to stay home and continue living her life. She did retire from conventions. She was supposed to do her last convention in May. I'm not sure if it actually went ahead because of coronavirus. I can't remember. I thought I saw an article where it did, but it might have just been an interview about it. I should have done more research, but I just saw this and I just thought it's just really sad that these people are fighting, but I'm not sure who has her best interest at heart. I'm not sure if she should be in a home, if just staying at home and having someone take care of her is enough. My mother had cancer, and she stayed at home and had people visiting her only a couple of times a day, and I don't think it was enough, but I wasn't there, so I can't really judge. But sometimes if you really should have someone, if someone's going to stay at home and they have health problems, you need someone to stay with them. And that's kind of what the manager is doing. So I think that's best, but the son is saying he's taking advantage of her and he's just there so he can control her and control her finances and everything. And it's just really heartbreaking. I saw a video of her saying, you know, like, I don't want to move, I don't want to go into home, I want to keep doing what I'm doing. And I think that's the most important thing. Some people don't mind going into a home and just being with a bunch of old people and sort of leaving their life and all the stresses that they probably had, maintaining a house and dealing with things that they dealt with, and just moving into a home and having someone else deal with it and just be taken care of. Other people don't want that, and it's detrimental to them. Just like putting someone in a home who doesn't want that, it's detrimental. It's taking someone out of their environment. It just depends on what the person wants and what actually is beneficial for them. Because if they're happy, if they're doing what they want and they feel that they're still vital or involved in their life, if that's what they need or want, that's best. If they feel like they want to be taken care of and they can't handle stuff and it's stressful to them, then that's beneficial. So it's kind of difficult to work out what is better for her, but it's just really sad to know that she's got these problems and she's not going out on a high. She's going out with illness and wondering how long she's going to be around and what her quality of life is going to be like. Because you don't want to see someone that you care about, even if you don't know this person intimately. Just Star Trek is like, the cast of Star Trek is, for a lot of people, like extended family. You feel like you know these people. They've been in your life so long. And all the interviews and conventions, if you've met them and that, you feel like you know them. And when something happens to them, it's upsetting. When Leonard Nimoy died, I was very upset. When Grace Lee Whitney died, I was very upset because I wanted to meet her. When Majel Barrett died, I was very upset as well. I was home. I remember I was at home at Christmas when I heard about it. And I just remember sitting on my floor looking through my Star Trek stuff, just feeling really sad and wishing I'd met her. I bought an autograph of hers because I saw it and I thought I should buy that in case I never get to meet her. But I would have rather have gotten a real one. So it's very upsetting to know Nichelle's going through this sort of stuff, and also it's like she's got the illness and this drama, and it's like it's more than she deserves for sure. Like, no one really deserves to have that sort of drama on top of medical issues. I mean, it'd be nice. It's bad enough she has the medical issues. It'd be nice if it was just that she had to deal with, but she's got to deal with this, and she's got short-term memory loss problems. So how she'd even deal with it? She does need to be taken care of, and it needs to be someone who has her best interest at heart. And maybe both these people do, or maybe one of them doesn't, and that's the reason why they was fighting. But we don't know this as fans reading articles and seeing things. We don't know who has their best interest at heart and what's actually happening. So it's very upsetting, and I just want to get resolved. I just wanted to live out, her last years without stress or anything. Apparently, some of the things that are being accused are pretty nasty. I read through some of it, but it was very confusing. Apparently, the son has shut off some of the services to try and get them to move out or something, and they're living in not the best conditions. Although I think he was accusing the manager of doing this because he's not maintaining things, and it's just all this backwards and forwards and everyone accusing each other of things. I hope I didn't get that wrong from the article, because I didn't want to read out the article live, because I tried doing that for a Star Trek article and it didn't go very well. So I'm just sort of going from my notes and what I remember, and it's more, I'm not here to discuss the specifics of the case and try and argue it or something. I'm just feeling upset that this is happening to Nichelle, and just wanted to make a video and talk about it. My YouTube videos are basically my therapy, especially in the Corona zone, where I'm basically isolated. Whenever something happens I want to talk about, I just make a video. If no one watches, I don't care. I just feel good doing something. So, but this doesn't necessarily feel good because it's a bad situation. But I just hope someone can intervene, or some third party can actually resolve this. I think if she wants to stay in a house, she should be able to, so long as she's got people to take care of her, and if she's got money. Like, the son is accusing the manager of stealing $1 million from her, and taking money from her conventions and things, like more than he's supposed to, and all these sort of nasty accusations. And from my understanding, she's got enough money to have a full-time nurse take care of her so she can stay in her home and be comfortable. I think that's what they should be doing. I don't understand what's happening, and I'm just going to leave it there. It's not news though. I mean, this latest chapter is news, but the problem as a whole is not news. It has been going on for a couple of years. I had thought it had resolved itself. I can't remember the specifics of the other issue that was brought up by this lady that I was talking to, because she was putting on a bit of a campaign to try and help Nichelle, and she was talking to fans and people and trying to get support, and had quite a bit of chat with her at the time, and I thought it had been resolved, but looks like it's ongoing, so hopefully there'll be a resolution and a good update video I can do talking about it. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Comments are fun. If you know anything about this, feel free to share it with me. Thanks. Bye. Just something I wanted to add. Apparently Nichelle Nichols' son actually fired her carers and all the staff that she had, because apparently she did have carers and staff that were helping her to basically stay at home, along with her manager's help and that. And part of the whole argument is that he did things like that to try and, I guess, force them out of the home or something. That's what he's being accused of. Allegedly he did that. So I just wanted to add that because I forgot about that. It was in the article. So